order for one to rise to the occasion, one must recognize that you have to be down first. NuriShabakaUrsaMa'atRa. And knowledge is infinite. Therefore, evolution is inevitable. Peace.
What's up, y'all? Hope all is well. Come to percolate your mind, 'cause that's what I do. Make you think. In the process of thinking, I was thinking about how black people got it twisted. Y'all, we got it twisted for real. Now, we live in the United States of America, right? And one of our arch nemesis is the European American, which some people may call a so-called white man. Now, what we end up doing without even realizing is losing the game. Because first of all, we don't even recognize that it is a game. It's life, but it's a game. It's the game of life. And the reason why they break it down into races, because it's a race to be number one. It's a race to be number one. The thing is, it's separated into teams. And we don't even realize that. So they have the white race, the black race, Chinese race, all of that. These are all different teams. Now, we don't realize that we're the most inconsistent. We like a horrible NBA or baseball or basketball franchise that is always at the bottom every year. We are at the bottom of economics, poverty. We're at the bottom of all of the major consistent things on this planet. We're at the bottom of it in most of the countries. We have a tendency to acquiesce to our enemy. Now, if it was the other way around, our enemy would be banging with us. They ain't gonna take with the stuff that we take, you know. But we have a problem looking for our enemy, looking to our enemy for help. If you're playing football and say, for instance, the running back, and then you got the lineman. The lineman is coming, and he blocks and he pancakes. Pancakes mean he put the defender on his butt. So he knocked him clean to the ground, and now it's an open lane to the end zone. The goal of the game is to get a touchdown so you can win the game. So in the process of this, knock him down, and the running back goes back and helps the defender up. And in that process, he gets tackled, and he doesn't complete his goal, which is getting into the end zone. Doesn't that sound retarded? Like, why would you help out the opponent on the other team when your goal is to win? Why will we look for white people to help us and they're on the other team? Doesn't that sound asinine? We are looking for our opponents to help us win the race that they trying to win. That is our mind state, unconsciously. The first thing we do when something happens, we complain to them. What? Why would they help us? And they trying to win too. Like, people have a hatred towards white people. Y'all, the reason why y'all hate white people is because we losing and they winning. If we was winning, you wouldn't hate white people. You wouldn't care about the stuff that they do. But y'all have to understand, this is a race. And ain't no rules in this. It's no holds barred to the finish line. If they got to kill, steal, pillage, whatever they have to do to win, then that's what they best do to win. Our problem is we are not set up to do whatever it takes to win. That's why we're going to continue to be at the bottom. And one of those reasons are we are not together. White people run the world because they are willing to do whatever it takes to the opponents, which is everybody else other than them. It's a race to the finish line. They comprehend it. They're not waking up every morning thinking about what they can do to black people, what they can do to Chinese people and Mexican people. No, they ain't doing that. White people are trying to win. They don't hate us. They don't hate anybody. They just want to win. The upper echelon, the controlling people of the world, just so happen to be white. If black people were the upper echelon of the world, then the controlling interest would be black. But that is not the case. White people have a strong arm on black people, which was one of the smartest things they could have did in the game, is to separate us to a point where we can't come together, and then to have us to a point where we don't even recognize what this is. We don't even recognize what this is. Black people is steady complaining in the United States about different issues that occur. If you have a problem with racism, get out the United States. Stop complaining. If you have a problem with police killing our black men down in the middle of the street like a dog, which I have a problem with too, stop complaining. Stop complaining about police brutality, the racial inequality. Stop complaining. Or get out of the United States. Because as long as you live in the United States, these things are going to occur. And what are we going to do? March. What? Marching, all you doing is begging and complaining to the very people who put you in that situation, like they gonna get you out of it. Stop complaining. Stop complaining. The only way we're gonna win is to do something. And the only way we can do something is to come together in every single aspect that is important. Religion ain't gonna get it. Politics ain't gonna get it. But we have to find out what will get it. We've been in a religious state of mind for 400 years. And in them 400 years, we've been at the bottom. We have been lynched, shot down in the street, burned. Our women have been raped. Our men have been castrated. There have been very laws that have been set up against us so we won't succeed. Stop being mad at them. Be mad at yourself. We fall for it. We going with the program. We benefit of white supremacy. We benefit of the very system that has us at the bottom. We go to work. We pay our bills. We support white supremacy. Nobody can get, not the majority of black people, when you get hungry, you don't go in your backyard and get food. You don't do it. That very money that you went to work for, which is another form of slavery, all you doing is putting that money right back into white supremacy. And you're satisfied. It's not that bad. It could be worse. Other countries is way worse. You haven't been to other countries to say that. All you going to buy is what you see on the news and TV. You don't know what them other countries is and how good they got it, so-called got it. All you know is over here is we put up with the worst type of disrespect and situations just so we can get a little crumbs. And we happy with those crumbs. We satisfied with those crumbs. When are we going to get together and understand that this is a race to the finish? No holds barred. No holds barred. Everything goes. Once we realize that and come together, that's the only way. Rising up in their system to try to overthrow them in their system will never work. Us being lawyers, politicians, preachers, authoritative figures in their system ain't gonna work. The only way this works is if we get our own systems set into play that combat their system. And when we do that, the only way we have to do that is to form some type of militant actions to protect ourselves. We are done. We done. Because everybody in the United States benefit off of white supremacy, including the so-called Negro, or African, or Hebrew, or indigenous, or whatever you want to call yourself. You still at the bottom. You a bottom feeder. See, we're not together. And all of these things that happen to us in this country is based on us not being together. We don't come together. And all of the systematic stuff that they do against us, and all of the stuff that they do, they're going to keep doing it because we're not together. You don't see in the so-called Chinese community, you don't see police brutality. Police ain't killing Chinamen dead in the street like that. You don't see that happening in the Jewish communities. You don't see that. You don't see it happening in the all of the other communities. You know, the other communities that basically are not even tripping off the system that's set up here, and they still don't get messed with. It happened to us because we're not together. Don't happen to the Italian community. You don't see that. We ain't together, and as long as we ain't together, it's gonna keep happening. We concentrate on everything else, but we don't concentrate on finding a way to unite. Everything we do is in opposition of each other. We look at each other as the enemy and not teammates. Why? Because we stuck on. They smart enough to get us in all of these unnecessary things that we concentrate on. I'm Kemet. See? I'm Kemet. I'm Hebrew. I'm an indigenous person of this land. I'm a Moor. But what we are not is united. That little infighting that we do is so stupid. Was we here first? We was the first black people here. We are the native people of this land, and we are all Hebrews. We are all African. It don't matter. What we all are, what we do all unite as being the bottom feeders. That's what we all are. Hebrews, y'all the bottom feeder. Us brothers that practice Kemetic spirituality, bottom feeders. Moors, bottom feeders. Christians, bottom feeders. Every last one of them. We bottom feeders. The only thing that we come together on is being the last. That's the only thing we can unite at. We can unite at the fact that we don't come together. That we don't support each other. The brother Sadnetta and the brother Captain Tazoriak, those two brothers practice two different ideologies, but yet you still have the brother on his platform, the brother Sadnetta, giving shots out to brother Captain Tazoriak product. Why? Because it was a black product. He telling black people to go support him. Me and him might not be the best partners, but go support his stuff. Why? Because he black. Because that's how all of the rest of the races do. You have white men that can't stand each other, that will be ready to kill each other. But when it comes to an issue, they are more together than Siamese twins. That's how they connect. They connected at the hip. They can't stand each other in a social issue, but when it comes to economics and joining together, man, they on point. Bill and Bob can be ready to fight before the meeting start. But as soon as they say, okay, meeting start, Bill and Bob, they together like this. Tyrone and Ray Ray, they can be partners. They getting along on every end. But when it comes to economics, they ain't supporting each other in no kind of way. They would take their dollar, their hard-earned dollar, and go way across town to another race to support another race. Now, I'm not saying that you might not need something from another race or that you shouldn't sell something to other races and stuff like that. That ain't what I'm saying. I'm saying think about your people first before you think about giving that dollar to anybody else. I'm guilty as well. But the reason is because our psychological aspect in life is warped. We look at ourselves the way that other races view ourselves, as bottom feeders. And this here has to stop. It has to stop. We, as a people, if we don't come together, we're going to be one of those endangered species. Like you heard the woolly mammoth and the saber-toothed tiger. The black woman and man. A museum set up. This is what the black woman and man used to be. There was a liquor store and a church on every corner. And the community still looked at as trash as ever. The only time that community looked good is when we were together. This is your brother, NuriShabakaUrsaMa'atRa. And knowledge is infinite. Therefore, evolution is inevitable.